So it's Brandy here with some new tools to show off. I got these for a chain making class that I was supposed to teach back in December. So I've had these sitting around the studio since probably about, I don't know, October or November. And I kept thinking, you know what, I'm going to demonstrate them when um, it gets a little closer to class time. And thanks to COVID, class has been pushed off and pushed off and pushed off, and now it looks like we're not going to be able to do this class until March. So I want to go ahead and talk to you about these neat things that I have gotten in the studio for use once we're able to open back up. These are what's called Bangle press dies, and they're a positive and a negative, and they sandwich together with metal in between to create different designs along the metal. Now, these are the big ones. They're about 3 inches across, and they're actually made for like bangle bracelets so that you can create some texture in them. They also make some that are smaller that are called hoop presses, and so those would be like more for links in a chain or hoop earrings, things like that. Those are about 2 inches across, so about that big. But I'd like to demonstrate using one of these. Now they come with these little spacers here, and I do recommend keeping those in the press because they can be a little difficult to get apart because they are very well machined. And I'm going to show you how this would work. And I like this scallopy one, so I'm going to demonstrate it. Now, my wire that I'm working with today is 14 gauge. It's like my favorite wire to work with for links and whatnot, and it makes a decent bangle, especially if you're layering them. These presses will take up to 12 gauge wire, but you can also use sheet. So like if you've punched out some washers or something, or you've got strips of sheet that you want to lay in them, they'll take up to 24 gauge sheet. So the camera's gonna get a little wonky here for a second, so just if you have motion sickness, you may want to look away, but and now I have a bangle that has this great little texture on it. Now, obviously, the thinner the wire, the more impression you're going to get on this, and your metal needs to be annealed before it goes in. Unannealed metal will not take the texture very well, and you can also cause some stress points. But now I've got a great little bangle, and it just needs to be cleaned up. I left mine oxidized so that you could easily see it, but you could obviously clean it up as well. And now taking this little piece here of 14 gauge wire in the press and setting it, shows how you could do it to pieces of metal as well. They don't have to be made into loops. And now I've got myself a neat little wave piece if I wanted to solder that down onto something or form it into a link. But I'm going to have several of these available in the studio for folks to give them a try once we're back to doing classes. And I know if you've been following me on social media, you probably have seen the changes that are taking place. We've got benches and flex shafts and all sorts of great new tools in the studio, and I've got a lot of really great classes planned for 2021. Thanks, and have a great day.